What is a phrase you hate hearing from people? That's nothing. When I tell them something only for them to turn it onto a competition and say something worse that happened to them. When one of my buddies became a dad, suddenly nobody could have a bad night's sleep. Oh, you think that's bad? Try having a child. Over and over and over. Well, I had a child. And yeah, some nights suck. But I'm making damn sure that I acknowledge my buddies when one of them tells me they've had a rough night, because oh, you think that's bad? Try having a child very quickly became a phrase that made me gag. Totally agree. Being kept awake by a child is not fun. It also isn't fun being kept awake by noisy neighbors, a painful injury, anxiety, or anything else. It is possible to drown in a few inches of water. In these trying times. It's always marketing that overdoes it. In these trying times, we're here for all your lumber needs. In these uncertain times, we have all the snapping turtle accessories you could ever wish for. In these hard times, buy yourself an overpriced truck from your local Ford dealership. Now, more than ever, you can buy our stuff. Because you have stimulus money and we know it. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Your English is so good. Thank you. I was born in Australia and English is literally my first language. My standard response these days is oh thank you, yours too. But she's your mother. Yeah, well she should have acted like one. Therese, no such word as can't try striking a match on a bar of soap and tell me that again. Edit, the Star Wars debate is everything I could have wanted. Also, time for the awards. I don't know man, the box says strike anywhere. You can strike it anywhere. Whether it lights or not is a different story. Customer is always right. Wow, impressed by the responses. Yes, it is definitely not used in full and leaves the customer feeling entitled. Let's ride the wave. Use code BROAD in the item shop. I had someone try to pull this card on me as a carpenter. He wanted me to slap together some sketchy future liability, so I told him I can't build it the way he wanted because it's unsafe. Well, I want it that way and the customer's always right. To be fair man, if the customer wasn't almost always clueless I wouldn't have a job. He wanted an addition just kinda slapped onto the side of his house. No footings, no proper tie into the existing structure, just bolt the thing to the wall in a few places and knock out a doorway. To be fair man, if the customer wasn't almost always clueless I wouldn't have a job. I so love this, perfect response. It's a prank bro. It's just a prank roughly translates to I wanted to act like a dick without getting in trouble. I think it's closer to I acted like a dick but you didn't like it since a prank status is only decided by the reaction. The good old Schrodinger's douchebag. Why are you so quiet? We're all in this together. I thought people are just quoting High School Musical. I actually sang it while reading the phrase. Lol. Only do the job you love. My bills aren't going to be paid on their own if I can't find a job I love. At any sort of conference gathering presentation, how are you all doing today? Glenn, I know you can answer louder than that. How are you all doing today? Instant resentment every time. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Bullshit. I love Scrabble, it is your dumbass challenging every word which ruins the experience for me. You know who you are. You just have to play double challenge or penalty challenge Scrabble. Make there be a penalty for challenging words and people are much less likely to do it. Edit, link n.wikipedia.org. Is this not the default? Board games are typically more fun when played by the actual rules. Not always. But with Scrabble in this case, it's so much more fun. This thread is very useful for developing your social skills. How come you hate this particular sentence? Because nobody should ever come to Reddit to get advice on social skills. You know that, right? I don't know who needs to hear this. Only God can judge me. If you can't handle me at my worst. Edit, Reddit specific phrases thanks for the gold, good sir or any iteration of that. Rip my inbox. What about? Louder for the people in the back. Only. If. You. Capitalize. Every. Word. To. Clap emoji. Each. Clap emoji. Word. Clap emoji. 2. Translated to English, a goat doesn't understand soup. This phrase is Turkish and used whenever you disagree with someone else's taste. Yes, I ducking hate it. Hindi, Bunder kia jane adrak ka swad? English, how would a monkey know the taste of ginger? Conveys the same meaning in India as the op. Tamil, kasud hai kutheri umakar puravasai. English, does a donkey know the smell of camphor? Guess there are similar phrases in various languages in India. We have one in Bengali as well. Translates to a dog is not able to digest ghee. In Chinese, English translation, play harp, zither, before a cow. Also famous biblical idiom, cast pearls before swine. Hindi, banskeu bin bayana. In English, playing flute or similar instrument, in front of a buffalo. There's also, Bengali, or Arkan Mantroyap English, chanting a divine phrase in the ears of a horse. I like how all of these sound like they were made with a random phrase generator. What are you doing in my house? Oh, ye happened to me last week. I know it's 2 a.m. and you're my neighbor, but no reason to be rude. Sorry, not sorry. It's like a cowardly and less respectable way of saying Lamau, duck your opinion. Same with him not saying it, but him not saying it. Frustrates me every time. At my work, upper management has started using the word activate a lot. As in, we are working on plans to activate underutilized spaces. And let's activate a few other teams on this. It just sounds silly to me and like they are trying too hard to avoid using simple, perfectly adequate language. They're your family. You have to love them. They're my family. They should have treated me better. I saved this comment from a poem for your sprog, but you were my parents. I loved you before. But you were my parents. You should have been more. You sat there in silence. You sat there and knew. I needed somebody. It should have been you. But you're not a parent, and I'm not a kid. I'm not who I was when you did what you did. You can't leave me beaten, or broken, or small. You're nothing. And now I don't need you at all. You have it easy. Back in my day, I always had to. You have no idea how hard it was back then. Jobs were easy to find and etc. Mom, my stomach hurts. I think I need a hospital. You good? Back in my day, we didn't have stomachs. My mom actually had a very similar approach. I used to have very painful periods and she never let me stay at home instead of going to school or the church. When I was young, nobody cared if I was sick. I had to literally lose my consciousness in the middle of the mass before she changed her view. Same here, I was always sent to school in immense pain with nausea, vomiting, because when you get a job you can't take off for your period every month, even though every single time I went to the nurse's office and ended up going home. Luckily the nausea vomiting part only lasted a year, but the immense pain continued. Ended up being endometriosis. Because when you get a job you can't take off for your period every month, she used that one as well. Thank you for reminding me. Well, psych, you can take off for your period every month if it's that painful. Sorry to hear that. In my case it wasn't endometriosis, just shitty genetics. Why don't you smile more? Resting bitch face is more efficient. Let that sink in, Ike. Why it just irks me and makes me think you don't fully believe in your argument. Just let the damn sink in, it's gonna be a cold night. That sink can come in when it has a goddamned warrant. Preggers. Uck. Pregananen? That video gets me every ducking time. The only reason Yahoo Answers existed was so he could bring us that video. They can shut it down now. There is a comedy advice podcast that largely answers Yahoo questions called My Brother, and Me that is up to around 555 episodes. Yahoo Answers has brought more comedy in this world than actual answers. That video just scratches the surface.